tell these folks your name. Emotional. I don't think they heard you, man. Emotional. Who's the best rapper around? Emotional. Who's the new killer in town?
What's going on, YouTube? I'm Emotional, aka your Sultan of Sexy. You know where the best be. It's me, can't you see? I'm fresh and so clean. What's going on, y'all? We back at it for another reaction video. This is why Sick Boy is off all streaming platforms. YouTube, the KUJOBEATS and Ren situation. I saw this. I saw like the notification thing for it, and I was at work when he dropped the video. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait till I get off work to check this mug out. And then I seen he made a post about it, about like something he dropping Thursday. I think I'm assuming it's next week, obviously. Sexy is still the same amount of letters, but anyway, he said he dropping some heat on us next week. So I'm excited for that. But also shout out to Ren for all the love he show us reactors, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, we about to go ahead and check this mug out. Like, comment, subscribe now, baby. Let's vibe. Hit the button, baby.
This is a video that I never, ever really wanted to have to make, but it's very important for me that I do. All the time, artists all over the world pour their souls into their work, and that work is tainted by money or greed. A lot of you will have been asking me the question why Sick Boy has disappeared now, as well as YouTube on streaming services. It's a video that was very close to me. It's a video that told my story about my health. It's a video that told the story of many other people who have been gaslit by the medical community. It's a story of greed in the music industry, ironically, funnily enough. It's also a song that I poured tens of thousands of pounds into for a music video.
Boy, that mess looked expensive too.
It was also the leading title of the only #1 album that I've got, so I was very, very proud of it. And we'll no longer have that song, guys. And I want to go into the reasons why. Also, I do recommend sticking around to the end of this video, because I've got a very exciting announcement about all of this that relates to all of this right at the end. People who have been following me for a while, they'll know the sort of person I am. They know the principles that I have, and they'll know how I treat other independent artists. So they'll know why it was so important for me to have to make this video. And I want it to be as unbiased as possible. Obviously, I'm emotionally affected by it, and that may leak in, right? But I want to share entire clips of these conversations so there can be no doubt. Also, if Kujo and his girlfriend want to share any more screenshots of either of those conversations, I encourage them to, because I believe that this should all be public knowledge, so there can be no doubt. Rather than taking people's words from it, I would like them just to see transparently what has happened here. To give context for all of this, back in 2022, I buy a beat from BeatStars, right? For anyone who doesn't know, BeatStars is a platform that connects producers to artists who need beats.
Yeah, I know about that.
I do produce most of my own work, but I wanted to find some hip-hop beats for inspiration. What I would usually do is buy a beat, arrange it slightly differently, tweak it myself, add my own vocals, add my own layers and stuff like that. I find this banging beat, right, from a producer called KUJOBEATS, which I buy an unlimited license for. This is all very important to keep in mind for later on, right? I buy an unlimited license, which means that I am able to put it on all streaming platforms and get as many streams as I want, and all recording on platforms like YouTube, etc., right? After I do this, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here just in case Kujo claims.
Hey guys, Sick Boy, because Sick Boy was a licensed beat, I thought I'd send you guys this to make sure nothing will be breaching the contract. We'll need to turn content ID off when distributing the audio and visual. Okay. All right, bring it back.
This, I send my YouTube guy that I work with, and I send the publishing team an email just giving them a heads up, being like, yo guys, I bought this beat, they need to be registered correctly, content ID needs to be turned off. I'll put a clip of that. I'm putting screenshots of those messages here just in case Kujo claims I never did this. I did do this. I also went the extra mile and messaged the team and said, look, we need to credit him on Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit producers.
Wait, hold on. Let me see. Let me go back. Hey guys, can we update Spotify / Apple credits, etc. to include the producers of the tracks I sent the licenses over for, please? If you read the licensed Yeah. If you read, I said it right. If you read the licensed, if you read the license, it said that I cannot read that they need to be credited, and just from a moral standpoint, I'd good to. Okay. It's okay. Wicked. It'll have what they want to be credited as on the licenses. Okay, some of them are different. Wicked. Okay, they just said something right there. Okay.
Him on Spotify credits and stuff like that as well, because sometimes artists don't always fully credit producers. I think that I forgot to do it in the YouTube description for like the first month or two, and then I updated it, and then he was fully credited the whole time, right? That was just a lapse because there was a lot going on. I was in Canada treating and stuff. But anyway, he was credited fully, like very soon in everywhere. And as far as I was aware, registered everywhere. So I don't think anything of it, right? Also, in the BeatStars contract, it says very clearly that the person selling you the beat has to own the beat. And if there are any elements of the beat that he doesn't own, he has to let you know. This is very important to remember for what is to follow as well, right? So, yeah, Christ. I think there's no problems. I buy the beat. I record a song, and this is before things have blown up with my music, so I'm still pretty underground artist at this point. I record the track, put it out. I even get a message from him at some point, which is also important to remember because of the hypocrisy of this whole situation. Just like, wicked, I love the track. Okay? Remember that too. Before I begin, I just want to add this. I have no problem with BeatStars. I think they're a very innovative company who actually help people make art, which I'm very, very passionate about. I think the contracts and the things you're getting into could be clearer because we're now in a situation negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars. I would love to talk to the... If anyone from there is watching, I imagine they will be at some point. I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face to face. Just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and
I have a question because I feel like I know where this is going. I feel like it's one of them situations where the song went I guess actually really went and did something, and then like the producer got an issue, or like I guess maybe it's some money that the producer wants more of or something. I don't know, because like. I wanted to make sure I found something because I wanted to see something, but actually I can't because it's not on there no more. But like, wasn't Sick Boy out for a nice while? Like, why is it an issue now? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I could have sworn Sick Boy was out way before, maybe like I want to say maybe 2 years or 3 years, maybe before I actually, or maybe even a year before I even knew who Ren was. So it's like. I don't know. It just seems like that's what the way that it sounds, just going off reading stuff and whatnot. It seemed like one of them situations where the producer, wanted more money or something. That's what it seemed like. But anyway, bring it back.
I'm very, very passionate about. I think the contracts and the things you're getting into could be clearer because we're now in a situation negotiating older tracks bought from BeatStars. I would love to talk to the If anyone from there is watching, I imagine they will be at some point. I would love to talk to the CEO, founder of BeatStars, face to face, just because I want to understand how something like this could have happened, and I want to understand why it escalated the way it did. Because from what I've heard, he's someone who cares a lot about artists, and someone who creates a platform like that, I think, must be very passionate about music. I'd love to chat to you. If you're listening, and I'd love to figure out why this happened and how we can stop things like this happening in the future. I also think that there needs to be a bit more stringent checks on if people are selling unlicensed samples, because then things tend to get a little bit sticky like they have here. Anyway, that's it. I have no problem with BeatStars because I'm not interested in going to war with them, because I think that it's really cool that there's a platform like that exists for artists and producers to be connected. Just thought I'd put that out there, make that clear. Right, so I arrive home from Canada after a 1.5 year long treatment of treating brain damage and autoimmunity, which a lot of you will know if you've been following my journey. And I'm expecting a nice 2 weeks with my mates before I do my first ever solo show in 5 years because of my health. So I'm just like, I want a nice chill time. I want to be able to focus on rehearsing and stuff.
Let's go.
Very early on, I wake up to a message saying, yo, your song Sick Boy has been taken down. So I look at it, and sure enough, it's been copyright striked from this guy KUJOBEATS' channel. And initially I'm like, oh, this just must be some automatic fuck up. So like, I don't take it too seriously. I send him a message like, yo, there must have been a technical error or something here. No response for 2 days. So I'm like, what's going on? So I check his channel, and then I see a comment of that beat that he licensed me, and I see a comment that's like, Ren has left me no choice. I'm sorry that I had to do this. And I'm like, okay, so this was intentional. Like, what? Like, the last conversation I had with this guy was months ago, with him being like, yo, big up your work, it's sick. So I'm like super confused about it. So I send him another email like, dude, what's going on? Again, I get absolutely no response. So I put a comment on his YouTube comment section, and I'm like, bro, I'm trying to get hold of you. Why are you ignoring me? Like, I just want to resolve this amicably. What's going on? Finally, I get a response on Instagram. And for the sake of this video, I'm just going to put all of these responses in their full form so that there can be no doubt as to what happened. I'm just going to read out like the key moments and explain the key moments. But if anyone's like interested in deep diving so there can be no doubt as to what's happened here, feel free to pause it. If Kujo and his girlfriend, like I said, feel like I've left anything out, they are welcome to post it. I have nothing to hide about this situation. So he responds, and he tells me that he's been talking to my lawyer for months, which I have no idea.
Ren, I'm really sorry that it came to this. I especially asked my legal rep not to request a strike. That's the thing. Like, a strike on your channel is like really wild. Like, you really like, I don't know, like, cause like I've had my channel striked, and I'm still waiting on those strikes to go away. But it's like, bro, like, striking a channel is like, it's some crazy work. I'm not gonna lie, it's some crazy work, bro. But anyway, my rep has been in contact with your lawyer, who has been exceedingly incompetent. That's insane. That's a big word. In his handling of the situation. Again, I'm sorry for this total cock up, and I hope you're doing okay. We have been in negotiations with, I guess there's somebody there, for many months, and he has yet to come forward with reasonable terms according to industry standards. So yeah, I'd say talk to and see what he says. I'm still waiting on updates from my rep at BeatStars. Hi man, I had no idea at all you were even talking to such and such. He should have told you. All I was told was that a couple of months ago, the choir sample hadn't been cleared. The music industry is so annoying, bro, with just like samples and just like, it's so much legal stuff. I understand why it's in place. It's just annoying at times, though. It's very tedious. Choir sample hadn't been cleared, and that they were chasing us for money, and that it was being dealt with. So I just figured it was being sorted behind the scenes. That's why this has all been so surprising. This stuff is so annoying. The music industry sucks, bro. That mess sucks, bro. All I was told was that a couple of months ago, the choir sample hadn't I was also made aware of that, and I'm sorry it caused you trouble. Yeah, man, sorry this caught you off guard.
Hear about, I've been in Canada, and he seems like quite a nice guy initially, so I'm like, okay, maybe this has all just been a misunderstanding. I remember even saying to like Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. He seems like you're all right, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his video saying,
oh Lord, there he is in the comment section. To all coming from Ren Sick Boy, I have waited over a year for Ren and his team to follow the terms of the contract they signed for this beat. During this whole period, I have not issued any strikes with the faith that they would make things right. I asked my legal representative not to issue strikes initially, as I had hoped Ren and his team would do the right thing. Unfortunately, they have delayed and avoided providing any reasonable terms to my team with shameful long periods of silence. Respect the terms of the contract. Don't spread misinformation. Don't lie. Okay, so, so the sample thing is the producer's fault, right? The sample is the producer's fault, like, because I remember he said it earlier in the video about, like, the producer is supposed to make sure everything in the beat is their work, or they have to make sure they get clearance for it. And so, and then also he has, like, if he bought the beat, he bought the unlimited license, I think it was, the unlimited license, I think. If he buys the unlimited license, he's supposed to be able to, like, stream it unlimited, unlimited radio play, unlimited everything, music video, all of that. Like, he literally is free reign at that point. Because if he spent $99 on that mug, so that's what I remember from the thing. It was $99, and so if he purchases the beat, he's supposed to have free reign with it. So that should be strictly on the producer at that point. So because the producer didn't get the sample cleared, didn't get the choir sample cleared, that's your fault. That's not Ren's fault. Unless I'm missing something, going off what I'm going off the information I'm given. Going off the information I'm given, it's the producer's fault. The producer on BeatStars is supposed to have that stuff cleared. You didn't have the sample cleared. So now you in my comment section telling people that, basically making it seem like I'm ducking you. You making it look like I'm running from you. And it's like, you saying I'm like, respect the terms. I'm like, I purchased the beat. I have unlimited free reign with it. I don't understand the problem. And then it's like, I don't know. This is why I don't like the music industry at times, because it's like, it's so much legal stuff, and then it's like, it's this person's fault and that person's fault, and it's just confusing at times. Like, it's just really confusing.
Even saying to, like, Connor and that, I was like, this has probably just been a misunderstanding and something's gone wrong here. Don't worry. He seems like you're all right, dude. We will sort this out. But then after that little exchange, I noticed a comment in the YouTube comment section on his video saying that I'm lying about the situation, when I thought that we, like, on the same page here. So I pull him up on it, and he's like, oh no, I didn't say you were lying, when he clearly did. That should have...
Brother, I'm not saying you're lying. I'm addressing the irate fans. I'll edit the comment to make it clear. 1 sec. You said you hoped me and my team would do the right thing. I don't even know what the issue is. I'm really not trying to damage your image. A little late for that. Can you explain it to me? Okay, let me go edit the comment and I'll get back to you right away. So wait, I'm not saying you're lying, but then let me go back. So, all coming from the sick boy. I have waited over a year and his team to follow the terms of the contract they signed for this beat. During this whole period, I have not issued any strikes with the faith that they would make things right. I asked my legal representative not to issue strikes initially, as I had hoped Ren and his team would do the right thing. Unfortunately, they have delayed and avoided providing any reasonable terms to my team with shamefully long periods of silence. Respect the terms of the contract. Don't spread misinformation. Don't lie. You said don't lie, and then you talk about don't spread misinformation, which is lying, right? Spreading misinformation is lying, isn't it? I don't understand. Like, you said don't lie, but then say, oh, where is it? Hold on. But then you say, brother, I'm not saying you're lying. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I read that right. Don't lie. Are you saying it from like a general thing? Is that like a general statement, or is that like, because the way that it reads like you're saying don't lie, don't spread misinformation. It's like you're saying he's lying, and then like I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
About the situation, when I thought that we, like, on the same page here. So I pull him up on it, and he's like, oh no, I didn't say you were lying, when he clearly did. That should have been like the first red flag for me, but still giving him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, okay,
I can completely understand that.
Another misunderstanding. Anyway, so I contact my lawyer to find out what the hell's happening, because I'm in the dark about all of this situation. And he explains to me that I've been sold a beat with a stolen sample, with an unlicensed sample, and that the Bulgarian choir sample owners had chased him and gone, look, you've used this beat without permission, you've used this sample without permission, and so you need to give us 50% of the publishing split. And what my lawyer's done, because we were sold a beat in good faith and it wasn't actually cleared, he's reached out to Kujo and gone, look, I think you need to absorb this for selling this in bad faith, basically. And they've gone, no, we're not going to absorb that. And then it's escalated, and I think because my lawyer was being slightly slow with the responses, they also, keep in mind, I don't know any of this is happening right now. To get my attention, they issue a copyright strike on the video, which affects my YouTube channel, by the way.
Yes,
and
the
video gets taken down as a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like any.
That'd be the thing. Like, that be the thing. Like, you ain't gotta strike folks' channels, bro. Like, and I'm saying this from a personal place too. I ain't even gonna lie to you. It's like you could easily just like hit folks up. Hey, can you take this video down because of this, and this? Cool, no problem, no harm, no foul. I completely respect, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is your thing, you don't want it. Cool, I can completely understand it and respect it. Boom, gone, done with, over with. But you striking my channel, or you striking his channel is like, that's a crazy thing. I ain't even gonna lie. And again, it's like, the thing for me is like, it's not his fault. That's the biggest thing. Like, if it was Ren just being negligent or just wanting to steal from people, then I'd be like, I ain't gonna lie. At this point, it is what it is. But if it's like, if you're buying a beat from a website, from a producer, honestly, this is just from my observation, right? Correct me in the comment section, because I don't profess to know everything. The thing is like, I would think that would also fall on the website too, right? Because it's like, I would think that they would have a thing to where they can like detect if there's something in there, I guess. Like, if there's like copyrighted something or whatever, like somebody's sample and whatnot, somebody else's sample in there or whatnot, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like you kind of just letting folks upload it, and then it's like it's just one of them things with samples. Like, it's like samples sound really cool, but it seemed like it's a really long process. And then it's like stuff that you would think that's not a sample turns around and is a sample, and it just get confusing after a while. It's like you gotta. I see why, I ain't gonna lie. I see why folks sign the labels, because it seemed like I would think the label would be able to deal with that side of things. You know what I'm saying? On a quicker scale and get you an answer back quicker. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't understand how this is Ren's fault. I mean, like, other than like, you of course just buying the beat. Like, all he did was buy the beat. That's it. All he did was buy the beat. I don't understand why the producer's going in on him though, and then strike the channel, and then the song is gone off the platform, and it's like, did this happen? Did this happen recently? Like, I'm talking about like within like the last month, because like, how long has this song been down? You know what I'm saying? Like, how long has the thing been down? Because that's weird to me. Like, that's really weird to me. Okay, but anyway, bring it back.
Video, which affects my YouTube channel, by the way, and the video gets taken down as a form of leverage, which is a bizarre way of dealing with things, I think, because it would have been a good idea to contact me, maybe, like anyone.
Yes.
Anyone first, if this was getting so like blown up. Like, maybe the lawyers, maybe Kujo could have actually reached out to me, the artist. Nobody did. So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read another comment that Kujo's posted, calling me a coward.
We can talk on Instagram or email if you want. I've been in negotiations with your lawyer for months without receiving any satisfactory response. What do you mean by satisfactory response? Like, I'm trying, because like, I just want to know, like, what do you mean by that? And then, you have yet to pay me the royalties you owe, and I think it's cowardly of you to pretend like you've done nothing wrong. Okay, so those of y'all that are really tapped in, like, so when it comes to like the royalties thing, how does that work exactly? Because I thought like once I bought the beat from you, everything would go to me, right? That's what I thought. I don't understand how royalties work 100% for real. So it's like when it comes to that, I'm like, I have yet to, because I thought that just came automatic. Like I thought like what is it like with the ASCAP and what's that other one? What's that other thing? I can't think of it. But I thought that came from like ASCAP and I can't remember the other thing. I can't remember the other music. I thought they were like, you know, the music royalties thing. They have award shows and all the other stuff. But like I thought like that came automatic. Like I thought that was deemed as like what I heard Tank say as mailbox money. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought that was like stuff that like the ASCAP people, they supposed to send you, not Ren. I don't know. Like I said, maybe it's something I don't understand, but anyway. And let's continue.
Nobody did. So I found that a bit bizarre. Any fucking way. Then I read another comment that Kujo's posted calling me a coward to pay
and
the
why
royalties
are you putting
he's
in my
owed.
comments?
I'm like, what royalty? That's also, in my head, the publishers are just paying him the money, and now the situation has to change until everyone agrees on it. But I wasn't even privy to that conversation about what a fair split should be yet. So I was like, what? I don't owe you. I don't owe this guy money. Like, there's no master splits on the BeatStars contracts, by the way. So all money that comes in to Kujo, which should be paid to Kujo, rightly so, comes from the publisher, which has nothing to do with me, by the way. I explained this so many times in this conversation, by the way, and he's adamant to say, probably short of like 50 times, pay me my money. I am nothing to do with his money, right? So it's a very bizarre thing to keep.
Wait, so another question. So the $99 you spent on the Sick Boy thing, right? So what did he, so like what, how does that play a factor in anything? Because I'm like, as I know he spent the money on the beat, right? And then that's what got him the license to do the unlimited license. So like, how does that work too? Because I'm like, I could have sworn like he wouldn't have gotten none because you already purchased the beat, or is that the money that goes to BeatStars? Like I'm confused. So it's like I said, it's so much with this stuff that's really confusing.
Saying, but I try to explain that to him patiently, never really takes it in. Anyway, he calls me a coward on this comment, so I pull him up on that. This actually starts to then rub me up a little bit, so I'm like, I pull him up on that. It's saying like, the hell, like, cowardly. Anyway, I'm still giving him the benefit of the doubt at this point. Anyway, despite this, I feel like he's probably just misinformed, so I still take his side on it, and I go on to reassure him he'll get paid his publishing money because I want him to get paid his publishing money.
Right.
Doesn't affect me in any way. So like, I was like, yeah, I'll chase it up for you. I let him know that I'm happy to split publishing if there's a bit of a grey area, and I'm kind of reassuring him. It's really important to remember this, by the way, guys, because some of the lies that are posted later make me out to be really unreasonable. So I'm like, yo, if there's some simple mistake, let's split the.
All I want to know, which nobody is telling me, is were you legally obliged to either inform me or be clear, or I'm sorry, or clear the sample before I bought it? See, and that's the biggest thing. Like, I'm confused at like, so like, how do you get, okay, so question, how would somebody get paid if you didn't even clear the sample? All of it wasn't 100% yours. So how does that work? Like, I'm trying to understand, like, how does that work? If you don't even, like, because I remember in the beginning of the video, like earlier in the video, he was basically explaining how he didn't clear the choir sample. So you don't even, do you, or did they clear the sample later? Oh, hold on. All I want to know is, white, I said white, which nobody is telling me is, were you legally obliged to either inform me or clear the sample before I bought it? So you didn't clear the sample before he bought it, so we've got that cleared up. If yes, you should cover publishing. If no, let's just split the publishing, W individual. Let's just split the publishing equally on whatever share is left over after the guys chasing the sample have their share. To me, that's not rocket science, but no one can give me a clear answer. Also, what I still totally don't understand is why was there a copyright strike on a YouTube video which has absolutely nothing to do with publishing. Go figure. Because whether that was you or your representatives, that's a real effing weird thing to do. Very, very weird. That's harmed my own hard work. I don't care about whatever the splits end up being. All I care about is what is legally right or wrong here. So I don't understand why no one can give me an answer. It's so simple to me. Don't sound like it's that simple when it comes to dealing with people.
Publishing, it's cool. I'm happy to do that. Yeah. Anyway, so he comes back to me and lies more. He says it's always up to the performer to clear the sample. It's not. It's up to the producer. But
how is it up to the performer to clear the sample when the performer didn't make the beat? That doesn't even make sense. How is that up to you? I guess. So like I said, on BeatStars, it says there's a sample contained in the beat. It's always up to the performer to clear the sample, but in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get a fairer share. This stuff is giving me a headache. I ain't even gonna lie, bro. Y'all, it's just treat others the way you want to be treated, bro. It's that simple. Just. Ugh.
Unless there's been a conversation. But in this case, as you can see, we're willing to make concessions for you to get your fair share. So actually, it's me making the concessions here because he sold a stolen sample. And I'm like, you know what? You can still have some publishing split, right? So like, I'm actually being the one that's being quite reasonable here. And he's flipped on his head like, we'll be good to you, you know, because I've done nothing wrong in this situation. Anyway, I was like, and then he says, I was under the impression you would have received a warning. I had no idea that the video would be completely taken down. Another lie, as you'll see soon. He and his lawyer agreed to take this video down as a form of leverage. It was our only possible negotiation tactic to get a response. Maybe message me.
I was so like, email me, like you ain't gotta skadoosh my work now. Like you ain't gotta just skadoosh me off the platform and potentially make me lose my channel that I worked so hard to build. Like, now I understand why so many artists like learn how to do everything. Like now I completely understand it because like you just completely just knock out all the producer mess. This why I'm glad that he knows how to play multiple instruments, because it's like you shouldn't have to go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean you gonna give me something? You sold me something that was stolen. You sold me something that was stolen, and then you making it, and then you strike my channel, bro. Like, and then you okay? Correct me. Are those comments under his video, or are they under? Like, I'm assuming they're under his video, and he's replying to it. But it's like, bro, like, what? How do you sell something stolen? And that's like me stealing from you and then me selling it and then me looking at you like, or the person that I sold your stuff to, when you coming to them to get it, and it's like, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like that doesn't even make sense, bro. Like it just don't make sense.
They're scratching their head. How can we get a response? Okay, we'll take his video down, issue a copyright strike, which also I didn't actually violate the contract.
That's sick.
Not intentionally. So the only possible tactic, dude, message me, send me an email. Like, you've messaged me before to tell me that you love my work, so like send me an email about this.
Too much work.
He says he also wants to wrap it up immediately and get the song back online. Another lie, as you will see later on, because he decides to stick to his guns and use the video as leverage. Anyway, the plot thickens. I get an email from their lawyer, and I'm not going to share it in case they start claiming I'm sharing things I'm not supposed to. But I get an email, and it says, on top of the publishing split, they want a £3,000 payment, right? They want a 15% retroactive split of the master, which has nothing to do with publishing, which means like 15% of everything the song has ever made since it came out. Retroactively, so since it's come out to this moment, and then into the future. When I've paid for an unlimited sample, unlimited license beat, and with that you're talking money from record sales, you're talking money from streaming things, you're talking all of that when they haven't put any effort into promoting the song. He's made a beat and he's stolen part of the beat, and he wants 15% of everything the song has ever made for that, plus a £3,000 advance. Out of principle, I wasn't going to give him that.
Right.
Because like may have been slightly open to negotiations if they hadn't used the song as leverage and actually treated me like a decent person. I hadn't put like lies about the situation.
Word.
Right? But nah, out of principle, I wasn't going to agree to that. And also to clarify, when I've been in rooms with producers and we've made a song from scratch, I've done a lot of like 50-50 splits, or I've done like 25-75, or with other collaborated artists, we just agree on a split that's like 50-50, 25. So, you know, like 15% isn't outrageous, right? What's outrageous is that they already sold it with an unlimited license right from the get-go. So you go into BeatStars thinking, I'm buying an unlimited license for this much money, right? And I was broke at the time when I bought that beat. So it's like you go into the situation buying something, and then later on down the line it can come back and sting you if they go, oh, this slight thing, well, we found a loophole here, which means that now you owe us all this money, right? So it's like, it was kind of unfair, because say you buy a painting off somebody for £10, right, and then the price of it rises exponentially because maybe the painter dies or something, or he becomes really popular. You don't then just go back to the person you sold it to and go, oh, that painting's worth like 20 times more now, give me a bit more money for it, because the transaction's been done. And that's kind of how I felt about the BeatStars thing. It wasn't about me losing money, it was about the principle of like, we've stepped into this agreement, and I was in full faith thinking I was buying an unlimited sample, but that's unlimited license, sorry, but that's not actually what's happened, is it? Right?
Nope.
And it says that if I don't agree to this, they're within their right to claim 100% of the song because I have breached something in the contract, right? Now,
what you stole the sample. Why is this even a conversation? Ren, what's the conversation? You sold me something that was stolen. That's like you said, since you brought up the painting, that's like you stealing of I think his name is Van Gogh, I think that's how you say it. That's like you stealing one of his paintings and then you selling it to me. And then it's like, what? I don't understand. How do you steal a sample and then you go through all of this and you stole something? What, like, it's not even 100% yours. Like, I could understand if you was fighting on behalf of whoever you got the sample from, but how are you fighting? How do you get 100% of something that's not 100% yours? That's the whole thing that I'm getting from this. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting irritated. Because this don't even make sense.
This is what I preached. Apparently, Content ID was turned on the track, okay, on YouTube. As you'll see from my earlier on in this video, I actually specifically requested Content ID was turned off, and my YouTube guide did turn it off. There has been something to do with the distribution where somewhere along the line, even after I specifically requested this, it may have gotten turned on at some point, right? Where this doesn't actually make any money, which we've got proof of, because I actually let reactors, I let content creators monetize their own videos where they're reacting to my songs. I've done this since the start because I believe that everyone should get paid. It helps promote me. I'm not losing out. Everyone's a winner. A rising tide lifts all ships, baby. So like, I'm like, they're using this as leverage, but legally, but thus is the world. They actually had something to lean on with that. So they were like, look, if you don't agree to these terms, 15% retroactive master split, this share on publishing, and a £3,000 advance against the master, we're going to take 100% of what you own. At this point, I'm obviously pretty annoyed.
A little bit. I'm annoyed, and I'm not even involved.
Pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point, they've got my attention, so there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boy as leverage, right? So I give them a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair warning, which is also important to remember, because later on he plays the victim, saying that I've put a post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it.
Hold on. What did it say? Hold on. At
this point, I'm obviously pretty annoyed.
Right.
Which is pretty understandable, right? Anyway, at this point, they've got my attention, so there's no reason they need to use the video for Sick Boy as leverage, right? So I give him a fair warning. I'm like, mate, if you don't put the video back up on Friday, I'm going to have to put a public post explaining why it's down. And I give him a fair...
I'm stepping out of this situation. Now I've said my piece and where I stand, but this is stressing me. What are you stressed out about for? You the one took my video down. You striked my channel. You've been harassing me and telling folks, oh yeah, I did so. You did. Ren is lying and spreading misinformation. This whole situation would have been avoided had you just not stolen the sample, and then just had a conversation, like from the jump. The whole situation would have just been avoided with a conversation and not stealing the sample. I'm still trying to figure out I'm still on that, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm just on that because it's like, how do you real life steal a sample and then look at me like I'm tripping? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't even want to read the rest of that. I read these first 2 lines. I'm stepping out of the situation. I said my piece and where I stand, but this is stressing me out far too much. You wasn't stressed out when you took my doggone video, when you could have sent me a message, an email, something, a smoke signal, carrier pigeon, anything. Like you could have written a letter, like you could have sent Morse code. You could have did something. But now you stressed out? What you think I'm going through? You the one that's been on my head top, I guess.
A warning, which is also important to remember, because later on he plays the victim, saying that I've put a post encouraging my fans to bully him, which I didn't. I gave him a fair warning about it. I never once encouraged him to bully him. I just needed to explain why my video was down, because this was proper stressing me out, and I feel like I didn't want to be silenced about the whole situation. The time comes around, I put the post out, and I'm always still thinking for like a positive solution here. So I have like a brainwave of like, oh, I've got a brilliant solution, right? So I approach him and I'm like, dude, look, I know that things got complicated here, but out of principle, I don't really want to budge on the master split for this thing, but I've got a much better idea, because a lot of my fan base are like now giving him, because I put the
okay, those were his messages. Okay, my bad.
Public post out. A lot of my fan base are giving him grief, and I'm like, you know what? I want this guy's life to get ruined because of this. Like, despite how frustrated it's made me. I don't want this guy to get ruined. I don't want him to get abused about it. I just wanted to get the song back. That was the thing. So like, I sent him a message. I'm like, dude, look, I thought of a thing, because I am a man of principle. I didn't want to bend to threats and stuff about the song being claimed 100%. So I'm like, I've got a much better idea. Let's make a song. We'll split it 50-50 down the middle. Master, publishing, everything. A song from scratch. Then if we do that way, it'll be like a fuck you to the industry. Yeah, you and me on a track. You'll make way more money this way because it's 50-50. You'll also get my fan base on your side. It's going to be a great thing, because I'm always like, I want to look forward. I don't want to look backwards. I don't want to look at all these things that happened in the past. I'm like, this is actually going to make him even more. And he rejected it. He turned it down, which I still think to this day is a bit of a silly move given what happened and what happened next. But it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really...
Wait, you argued for what was the percent? He was fighting tooth and nail to get 100%. And wait, what? I find it hard to envision working on another song until this current situation is sorted. I work another job on the side, so I don't really have time to read through all of this right now and give you a satisfactory answer. Okay, that's 100. I will reiterate that all I want is a fair conclusion for both of us. I don't want to bleed you dry or ask for anything that I'm not owed. What you just asked for 100% of the thing. That's I don't know how much more you can ask for, but and then he said I'm not owed. So what is he owed? I'm confused. Like, what are you owed at that point? Because again, the thing wasn't 100% his. I'm still on that. Like, if it's not 100% yours, what are you really owed at that point? Like, are you really owed anything for real? Like, what are you owed at that point? Like, I'm trying to understand, like, what are you owed at that point? If the beat wasn't 100% his from the jump, and then he sold it to you, I don't know. And then you trying to get publishing, like, I don't know. I don't want to bleed you dry. I respect you and what you have accomplished with your work. I have always treated every artist that I have ever worked with more than fairly, and I have always asked independent artists who, granted, have a much bigger challenge for less than my due. Dragging this out only truly profits your lawyer, since my representative is employed by BeatStars, not directly by me. Complications and misunderstanding only profit your lawyer, not you or me or anyone on my team. This whole situation is hurting you and your image because you have so much more to lose than me. So I wish we could have kept this private. I feel for you, Ren. I really do. I think it's also fair to say that the details of these negotiations far surpass our comprehension, as we are merely artists and have no background in law. Okay. That's why I'm letting Blank advise me on this. I've been messed over by a lot of people in this industry, and that's why I joined BeatStars/Sony Pub. I needed someone on my side who fully understands how this all works, and they have only ever been fair and honest with me in every matter. Reread through my proposition. It massively benefits you. I find it hard to envision working on another song until the current Okay, this situation doesn't hurt my image at all. This is massively gaslighting. Tell me which one of these statements wasn't a lie.
Silly move given what happened and what happened next, but it's a shame, man. And if you're watching this, you really should have taken that. I'm sure you are watching it. You really should have taken that deal. It was brilliant. Not only would it set you up with way more money, which is obviously what you most care about in this situation, but it also got loads of my fans on your side, which would also set you up for all things that you release independently as well, and you'd have come out this looking good. Shame. I offered you that olive branch. I offered quite a few olive branches on numerous occasions, which you weren't interested in. Then after that, there's a post on Instagram saying that I've stolen samples from people, which is bizarre because I never have. So I send him a message being like, he said that a British artist has got in touch with him and been like, Ren steal samples, which is obviously complete made up bullshit, right? So I messaged him about that. I'm like, what samples have I stolen? The Vera Hall one that I just put out, totally cleared. We cleared that with publishing company because I actually don't like steal my samples. And then any covers that I've done, they're just on YouTube. You're allowed to do that because there's a cover license on YouTube. So like, what are you talking about? To which he then just like ignores it, takes the post down, and then like and then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and Kujo, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to Kujo face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other. But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional. And I was like, hold on a second, I wasn't the person who took this public, first of all. Like,
didn't he take it public with the comments, or with the copyright thing? Because there's no way of avoiding it going public if you strike the channel and you take the video down. That's you taking it public, because the fans are going to notice the video's not up, and then they're going to ask, and then he's going to have to tell them. So it's kind of like you took it public by doing that. I don't know. Anyway, my head.
And then just goes on some other fucking tangent. So it's like kind of grasping at straws here to make me look like the bad guy. So we arranged to have this call with the lawyers and Kujo, and I'm actually really excited to have the call because it's the first time I can talk to Kujo face to face, deal with this like grown-ups, like adults, and talk to each other. But it's not how it pans out. So we get on the call, and the first thing that happens is the lawyer just says, look, Ren, I think that you taking this public was very unprofessional. And I was like, hold on a second, I wasn't the person who took this public, first of all. Like, taking the video down is an aggressive move. And also, I didn't take it public, first of all. Kujo was commenting countless things on his YouTube before I even make the comment, calling me a liar, a coward, a so like, to say that I took this public, nah, I just responded to what happened and then explained to my fans why the song was down. Those posts are still up for everyone to see. All the posts on his comments are still there for everybody to see. So first of all, it was kind of like, we got into it straight away with me like having to be like, I put it straight and then everyone was like, okay, yeah, fair enough. The funniest thing about that call is Kujo was on it. He did not say a single word. Even when I like addressed him with questions, his lawyer would interject and go, I can answer that. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to talk to the person who's like, you know, like an adult. I want to talk to this person.
That's surprising.
And then my lawyer there's even a moment where my lawyer's like, look, I want to address this question to Kujo. Do you actually feel like this situation is fair? He says nothing, and the lawyer interjects again. So for that whole call, which, you know, took about half an hour, 40 minutes, he didn't say a single word. And I thought that was disrespectful.
That's weird.
Given the circumstances. He later claimed that it was because he doesn't legally know enough and it should be between the lawyers. But no, man. Like, regardless of your legal knowledge, we can still have a conversation like adults.
Yeah,
I'm not here to try and like intimidate or anything like that. I want to talk to you like a grown-up, brother. And that didn't happen. I wasn't afforded that luxury. I was talking a fair bit on that call about how I felt about the situation and what I felt was right. And I also said on that call that I didn't think that a retroactive split was right, because of all the reasons I've mentioned, but it is what it is, man. And then we came off the call and I felt pretty let down by it, to be honest. This is where the plot gets even more ridiculous, and I'm sorry this is a long video, guys, but
Lord, it gets worse.
This is mad, and this is emotionally exhausting, this bit. So I read a bunch of comments on Instagram from this person talking about the contract, saying things that aren't actually in the contract. I'm like, who the is this? So I messaged him and be like,
Bobby,
yo, by the way, you're misinformed. The contract actually doesn't state that it's on me to clear the samples. Then I click on the profile, I realise that it's Kujo's girlfriend, so I immediately unsend all those messages, because to be honest, look, he was getting grief from my fans, and I think to myself, you know what, he needs someone supporting him, even though that he's been an arsehole. I don't want to like start messaging his girlfriend and shit, whatever. I'll leave her out of this.
Yeah.
But she sees that I've unsent the messages and she instigates the conversation, says, have you done an oopsie? We start chatting for a long time.
An oopsie is crazy. I'm sorry, that mess made me laugh, dog. Like, did you make an oopsie? That's crazy. To ask a grown man, did he make an oopsie, is crazy work, bro. I ain't even gonna lie. That's hella funny, bro.
I've unsent the messages and she instigates the conversation, says, have you done an oopsie? We start chatting for a long time. We'll put those messages up so that you can read it. Ooh. It actually ends up being, it seems to me,
that's a lie. Like it's, sis, let you have it. That's a lie. My dog, I could have asked her to write a lot of my papers in college, boy. Yo, she was letting him have it, boy. Look at all this. Hold on.
Those messages up so that you can read it.
Look at all this. This is a whole, like, English composition paper. Like, this is a 180-page essay. She was going in. That's some sick work, bro. That's some sick work.
It actually ends up being, it seems to me, like it's like semi-amicable after a while of talking to each other.
Lord.
Like you can pause this and read this if you want. It's like basically the long and short of it is like she feels like Kujo's been misrepresented and feels like it's a lot of the industry's fault, my lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what Kujo feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which even though it's a little bit out of pocket, you know me, I laugh about it. The thing that rubs me up about things like that is if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. Worse. If that had been the other way around, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent, later on they would have been like, Ren's such a violent person or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics by simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying, you know, like, imagine what would have happened if he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not considering what it does to my mental health, are you, when you take down a song that means that much to me?
Especially about the mental health issues.
I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. Right. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video. But I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So, like, if they say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that, I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So, like,
I ain't gonna lie though, like, okay, so matter of fact, let me rewind it, because I want to make sure I want to get my ducks in a row before I say what I want to say. Hold on.
My lawyer's fault and stuff like that, which is kind of what Kujo feels like, right? She then threatens to break my kneecaps, which, even though it's a little bit out of pocket, you know me, I laugh about it. The thing that rubs me up about things like that is, if that had been the other way around, I never actually once got violent about this situation. If that had been the other way around, they would have been like, Ren's such a violent, later on they would have been like, Ren's such a violent person, or using bully tactics, because they've spoken about like how I'm using bully tactics by simply talking about the situation publicly, transparently. She also gaslights me by saying, you know, like, imagine what would have happened if he had mental health issues. I have a very long list of mental health issues. I am the person with mental health issues. You're not considering what it does to my mental health, are you, when you take down a song that means that much to me? A song that I've poured into, that I'm exposing a part of me that's very vulnerable about my health journey. Like, you're not considering that, are you? All I've done is post publicly about the situation. I've never told anybody to send you guys abuse or anything like that. And actually, if anybody's watching this right now, for clarity, even though I am very annoyed about the situation, I don't want anyone to send them abuse. I don't. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, we shouldn't even consider that anyway. Personally, that's how I look at it. Like, because my thing is, like, ultimately, like, that's not gonna help the situation. It's just not. It's not gonna help the situation, bringing more problems to the situation. If anything, if folks like that are like really fans of Ren, if y'all go over there and do something to him, like y'all go in the comments harassing him, it's gonna look bad on Ren anyway. It's gonna look like Ren sense. It's like you gonna give Cuz more reason to play victim. If folks was really like going to do that, like harassing him in the comments and stuff like that, it's you give him more reason to play victim. You get what I mean? Like, folks ain't got no business doing that. No way.
I'm annoyed about the situation, but it's done now. The song's down. It's gone. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm not trying to ruin somebody's life over this. I'll have my own form of revenge, as you'll see at the end of this video. But I'm not trying to ruin anyone's life over this. So, like, if they say to me that I'm trying to incentivize stuff like that, I'm not, guys. I don't want you to go and abuse them, right? But it is up to me to talk about this situation fairly. So, like, we seem to make some middle ground. She's even talking to me about, like, her ADHD and knows that I've got ADHD, and, like, you know, maybe we just got... And so I'm like, you know what? She seems pretty level-headed, right? So, like, cool. You know what? Maybe these guys are... It's just a big misunderstanding and we can figure a way to amicably sort this out. And I say to her, look, yeah, I'm happy to split the publishing, but I don't really want to split the master out of principle because I bought this, right? You know?
Right.
But... then at this point I start being like, you know what, maybe I'll split some of the master for the future stuff just to get this out of the way, even though I don't believe I should because they've stolen the beat with a stolen sample. I'm like, if this just gets this over the line, I'm happy to split the future master. I even say that in the email thread to the lawyers and stuff, right? So I'm like, I'm conceding a little bit here because I just want this situation done with.
Right.
We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning
oh, no.
I wake up to posts from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract, and then I see a comment on Anthony.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to share the screenshot of that document. I can, however, confirm that indeed the licensee Ren should hold the producer harmless in case of an uncleared. That sample is the thing that I'm just gonna play the thing. I don't even feel like reading it. I don't even feel like doing it because every time I see the sample from here on, it's just gonna bother me. It's just gonna bother me.
We end on a good note in this conversation. Then the next morning, I wake up to posts from her all over my Reddit lying about the contract, and then I see a comment on Anthony Ray's video where he's talking about the situation from her, saying this is what the contract says, and she made up she wrote a whole passage that wasn't even in our contract. It was completely made up. So after her being super nice to me behind the scenes in this conversation and feeling like I wake up to read this and I'm like, I start losing my mind, because I'm like, these guys, they're like, they pretend they're on my side, and then it's just like they publicly post all this stuff. So I'm like, I put her up on it. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, first of all, this is defamation. You can't be out here like making up stuff that's not even in the contract, you know? So she's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Right, so next I find a bunch of messages on Reddit from Kujo's girlfriend lying about the contract, which I'm going to put up here, which is actually very illegal, by the way. No, I won't be pressing charges over it. I just want to get this situation out of the way, but so I'm just going to put all these up for you to pause and read if you want to. It's ridiculous, basically. She also says that I was obviously upset, so I wasn't the most cooperative. As you guys, if you skip back in this video, you'll see I was extremely cooperative when I found out what was going on. I was being very amicable when I was trying to offer Kujo solutions and being amazingly supportive.
No, Ren, you offering him 50-50 was not enough, bro. You gotta make it 150 till you get 0. No, it wasn't enough, Ren. It wasn't enough. You're supposed to give him everything you ever make from here on. And then the music that you do later on, you gotta give him that too. What are you doing, Ren? Come on, brother. You supposed to give that man everything and more. Gosh, you bullying it. You doing too much, Ren. You doing too much. You not giving him enough, brother. You gotta give him everything. I need to stop. Okay, but for real though, like the email thing is like just like this whole thing. Like I said, the situation could have been stopped with an email. It could have just been stopped with a conversation. And then, like he said, he been done dirty in the industry. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know too many people who have been in any form of entertainment and then other people get involved and has not been done dirty at least once. I don't know nobody that ain't been done dirty at least once. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's one of them things like we all got to get through it, bro. We all got to get through it, bro. And I see why a lot of folks kind of stick to themselves too. Like, and again, I also see why artists learn how to do everything themselves. Because it just seemed like it's just a lot. But at the same time, like he said, like he wanted to do something. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to try something different, I think it was. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, this whole process could have been, it shouldn't even be happening. This whole conversation shouldn't even be happening. I hope that the person, whoever the choir sample came from, doesn't get wind of this. Because at that point, then they gonna be like, okay, so if you taking money from him, where my money for the sample? You get what I mean?
Amicable when I was trying to offer Kujo solutions and being amazingly supportive.
50-50 is not enough, Ren.
I refuse to fully acknowledge that a mistake on my end causing Kujo not to get paid was at the heart of all of this. It wasn't. A stolen sample was at the heart of all of this. Yes, the publishers, right, failed to correctly register Kujo, which wasn't anything to do with me. They've now remedied that, and there'll be a back payment for whatever percentage we end up on. No money's been lost here, right? That is something that was the publisher's fault, which I was very annoyed about, which I actually sent a message to the publishers about, explaining how annoyed I was about that situation, fighting for Kujo in that, when I didn't have to fight for Kujo because he was being a prick, right? So I sent that message to them anyway, fighting on Kujo's side, because despite all of this, I am a man of principles still, right? I kept threatening to sue and go public. No, I didn't. I wasn't threatening to sue. I did say I would go public if my song carried on being used as leverage. I gave them a very fair warning because they didn't need to use the video as leverage, and they kept on doing that. That was because I kept getting hundreds of messages a day from my fans being like, where's the video, and I wanted to address it all at once, and I also felt like I was being treated extremely unfairly, right? I had to accept by giving up all my shares of the song in exchange for a fixed fee. Yeah, that was something between my lawyers. Ren took in public the next morning. Yes, I did.
Kujo also claimed to me publicly that he'd been chasing publishing money for over a year with no reply. I remember this from earlier, which is why he was so annoyed, as did his girlfriend. This was another lie, as proven in the next screenshots. Okay. I still don't get how you're going through this over a sample. Dude, literally in the message you posted yesterday, it said you guys were chasing for a year, and Kujo's told me that multiple times. Okay, I can go back, grab proof, hold up. What happened is Kujo has been asking about his publishing for almost a year. You just said the same. It sounded like you said the same thing. When the song was posted, basically, and you pretty much ghosted him until the Bulgarians showed up at your door. La, la, la. Okay, but wait. I know you're angry, but everything you're posting is or telling me that isn't true makes this situation 1,000 times more complicated. Okay. So question, I'll wait. And then he contacted Kujo back and tried to get him to give up his publishing over the sample. Did you ever reach out to Blank regarding publishing before the Bulgarian choir situation? Please tell me you did, because it helps you guys and I'm trying my best to help you guys here. Bro, I'm not angry right now. I just woke up. You got a lot of energy for somebody that just woke up. And I have ADHD, so I have no memory, no sense of time whatsoever. Just get Kujo to find some proof that he actually made any attempt to what? I'm not sure he did, and I'm not sure he claimed. Okay.
Right, let's take this home now.
Okay.
At this point, I've just lost all amicability, right? I'm pissed off. I messaged Kujo's girlfriend and him saying, this is the first time I've threatened to sue, but I'm like, if I see any more lies from you guys about this situation, I will sue you guys. Because it's like, that's my public image. Like, I pride myself on the fairness that I show everyone that I work with, right? And my principles. And I'm also very against greed, and I stand against it militantly, which a lot of you will know from my work and how I treat people that I work with, right? So them spreading this stuff that I'm trying to be greedy here massively hurts my public image. So I was like, if you guys lie anymore about this, yeah, I'm going to do something about it, basically. And then I'm talking to Kujo and things get more heated. We get another email from their lawyer saying,
Lord.
you know, like, if you won't agree to our terms, we will take 100% of the song. That's where we stand on it. That is final. If you do not agree to this retroactive master split, we're taking everything.
How can
so
you take
I messaged
everything?
back. I'm going to show you that email. I messaged back, essentially summarizing this email. I just say, I'm going to take down the song myself. I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up of you threatening me with my own song that I poured myself into. I've explained what it means to me. I explained to both of them what it means to me. So I'm like, I'm taking it down myself. I don't want to let them win over this. I've been in situations in the music industry before where I had to concede because I was broke, and I just had to let a powerful, greedy person win over me, you know, like. And I know this is not the same situation. It's not like Kujo is like this in this huge position of power here, but how they've dealt with this whole situation was ridiculous. So I was like, rather than like bend to this leverage and just out of principle, I'm just going to take the song off. And it's ironic, man, because the song is about greed, you know, and it hurts me a lot that it's down now. It proper hurts me, man. I can't stress that enough because of what the song was and what the song meant to me, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. So I sent these emails. I also send a mass email out to everybody, the publisher, Kujo, the lawyers involved, just saying how disappointed I am across the board, even from people on my side. I was just disappointed at how this whole situation been dealt with, because ultimately at the core of this situation, the only person getting proper hurt financially from this is me, right? Because of my hard work that I've done to promote this music, because of my story and how that's been exploited. I'm the person who will suffer future losses for the earnings, and regardless of earnings, fuck earnings for a second. That song I was proud of. What it meant to people, I was proud of. the messages that I get from people every day, telling me like how much they relate to the song, how much it helps them through difficult times, you know, like that's gone now. That's taken away from people. So yeah, I'm pissed off. Anyway, so I send that email out. Me and Kujo share some pretty heated words. If you're a petty person, you'll probably like to pause on some of this.
Nah, I'm good.
It's ridiculous.
I'm good.
One of the things that took the piss the most that he said when I just lost my cool at this point. I lost all patience. One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So he was turning it around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not.
How can you leave it up when the video's down? What? You telling me to leave it there? Oh, okay. So you trying to manipulate the situation so you can get that 100% split thingy. Okay, that's what's going on. That's what I think is going on, at least. Okay, all right. Because I was so like, what do you mean leave it up? One of the funny things he said after all this was like, if you really cared about your fans, then you would leave them the song. So he was turning it around on me when he'd used the song as leverage. He said, if you cared about your fans, you leave it up for them. Then he said, I'm letting my pride and ego get in the way because I'm not paying him money that I didn't think he deserved for selling a stolen beat, right? That's what I'm saying.
He's saying that's my ego. Yeah, it's my ego's fault. And then he's just saying, he kept saying, just pay me, let me get my bag, I want the money, just give me my money. I explained to him again, like, dude, I'm not the person that pays you the money. I've explained this to you so many times. It's the publisher. And he's like, all right, cool. It finally seems to sink in that, like, I haven't stolen this man's money. I haven't taken a penny of this man's money. The publisher was at fault for not registering it properly, and they're resolving that, and then he'll get his money from the publishing. I don't want a penny of that. I don't care about that money. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. He deserves a bit of money for making that part of the beat. Sure. He shouldn't have stolen a sample and sold it to me. Theoretically, he could have all of his publishing taken away, but even after all of this, I still agreed to give him.
That's what I'm saying, bro. This whole situation doesn't make sense because you're asking for 100% of something that wasn't 100% yours. How do you do this? Like, how do you take 100% of something that's not 100% yours? That doesn't make sense to me, bro. Like, with everything that was said, everything, the court, the name calling, the this, the that, what does that have to do with you're not, it's not even 100% your beat. It's not even 100% yours. But you want 100% of what I did with it?
Bit of a publishing split just to shut him up, man. So it's like, I could have been even more petty and dug my feet in there, but
I would have did the same thing. I get it.
So the song's down.
I would have took it down too. I get it.
The funniest comment that I'm going to end this on, because this is going to be some album artwork, by the way. Single artwork, sorry. This is the next announcement. He goes, all right, peace. Your music sucks, by the way. Which is really funny, considering the message earlier where he told me that it was an honor, or it was like, it was really good to work with me. Funny. It's funny, hypocritical. Funny. But yeah, sure, my music sucks, brother. Cool. That's going to be the single artwork, which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm releasing a song about this whole situation, and it's dedicated to Kujo. And it's coming out next week. It's coming out a week today. It's called Kujo Beatdown.
Ooh.
And I love it. We made an amazing video for it. I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself. All the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week.
Wow. The pettiness. I didn't even know Ren did all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dog Ren with the shade. And then he put the word shade on the screen. The pettiness. Now that's the pettiness I wasn't ready for. Nah, that's crazy, bro. That's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm releasing a song
Kujo
about this whole situation.
Crazy, though.
and it's dedicated to Kujo. And it's coming out next week. It's coming out a week today. It's called Kujo Beatdown.
So petty.
And I love it. We made an amazing video for it.
Oh,
I made a beat. By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself.
Petty
I wrote all the lyrics myself. All the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week.
He wants 100% of that.
I'll also be recreating Sick Boy because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine. So
I was wondering about that too. Like, couldn't he just redo it and remake the beat? Because I was sure, like, couldn't he just do that? I sure was like, okay, so I'm not crazy then. Okay, I love when I know I'm not crazy. Okay, thank you. I know something now.
That's going to be the single artwork.
Oh, excuse me.
Which leads me to my last point, ladies and gentlemen.
Here comes the pettiness.
I'm releasing a song about this whole situation, and it's dedicated to Kujo. And it's coming out next week. It's coming out a week today. It's called Kujo Beatdown.
He's so petty.
And I love it. We made an amazing video for it.
I
made a beat
for him.
By the way, the beat has no unlicensed samples in it. I made the whole thing myself. I wrote all the lyrics myself. All the beats are mine. And that'll be going up on YouTube and Spotify next week. I'll also be recreating Sick Boy because those lyrics and that arrangement is mine.
I gotta hear that.
So for the anniversary of Sick Boy the album, you will be getting Sick Boy the beat remade, bigger and better than ever, without Kujo's input on it.
He's still 100%.
Look forward to that as well. And then there's also a third song dropping. There's a little bit more positive. Next week's song is angry, alright? I'm just going to warn you there. And before Kujo and his, like, before they start complaining about blah, 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 artistic license here, you know what? I've said my piece. I'm not interested in ruining your life, bro, but I felt like I needed to get it out somehow. And so I got it out somehow. And I hope you're watching this, man. And I hope you enjoy the song because it's dedicated to you, baby. Anyway, guys, I know that this was a long video, but I wanted there to be no doubt as to where everything stood in this situation and why you don't have a song that means so much to so many people and means so much to me. But there will be a revamped version of that song coming very soon, guys. And if you've made it this far, thank you. Sincerely. And I hope there can be no doubt as to this situation. Thank you.
Oh Lord. Peace, your music sucks, by the way. That's crazy. That is crazy, bro. That is straight crazy, bro. Bruh said your music is trash. Bro went from saying your music is good and honor and this, that, and the third to saying your music sucks. That's crazy, bro. That was definitely just trying to throw shade at that point. Like that's crazy, bro. That's actually crazy. But then, like, again, I'm still stuck on the fact this whole situation shouldn't even have happened. Like, you shouldn't have sold a beat that you didn't 100% make. And then, like, you ask, I just don't understand how you ask for 100% of something that you didn't, that's not 100% your work. I don't get that. Like, that choir sample was not yours, but you're asking me to give you 100% of the thing, and it wasn't even 100% yours. And part of what you gave me was stolen. I don't get how that works. And also, I had a question, like, shouldn't there be something where it's like what's the word I'm looking for? Shouldn't it be something even for like the video too? Like, it's like, or was it just like an audio thing that they took down? I don't know. I'm gonna have to check it out later on. But anyway, I'm about to get up out of here, y'all. Peace, baby. Lay out.